Well, I'm not a spawn ranch worker.
Hey everyone, Stoner Van Houten here. It is Saturday, March 8th, 2025. Today's video is a review of the brand new documentary on Netflix called Chaos, the Manson Murders. It's all based on the Tom O'Neill's book. So let's just get right to it, man. So I watched Tom O'Neill's Manson Murders on Netflix last night, and let me just say this: 10 minutes into it, I was absolutely bored to death. That's probably the one word I could best describe it: just boring. The thing about when people make these documentaries and they use Manson, see, here's the problem. Outlets like, Peacock and Hulu and Netflix, what they're doing is the same thing that YouTubers do. They're just trying to get subscribers and likes. So they put anything out there that you will gravitate to. So Peacock put out Making Manson, and it scored pretty good with that. And then Netflix comes out with, the Tom O'Neill thing. And I think Netflix actually really bombed on this. And let me just tell you this. First of all, they don't bring any new information to the documentary at all. It's the same old helter-skelter. Absolutely nothing new. So it's the same old helter-skelter. And also, Tom O'Neill's a hypocrite, because in his book, he debunks the Bugliosi theory and shows you and proves to you that Bugliosi lied, and he had to use this certain conviction to get Manson, which was all lies. So Tom O'Neill debunks it, shows you and proves to you it was false, which means Manson wasn't a hippie cult leader. He didn't have magical powers. He couldn't control people. But then on the other hand, Tom O'Neill's also saying, Manson had, he was a hippie cult leader. He had magical powers, and he can command people to kill on demand and have no remorse. So it's like, make up your mind, Tom. You proved Bugliosi's theory was bunk, so Manson couldn't have been a hippie cult leader with magical powers. But then you say, he had magical powers and he can make people kill without remorse, and that's what the government was trying to figure out there at the clinic there in San Francisco. Get the hell out of here, man. Look. And it was just terrible. You have Greg Jacobson in it. You had Stephen Kay in it again. The same people that you see in every fucking documentary. Well, I'm actually surprised that Phil Kaufman wasn't in this goddamn thing. Linda Deutsch couldn't be in it because she died after making Manson. So, look, this documentary brings absolutely nothing to the table. And here's what these documentaries are doing. They're showing you like a new picture or a new angle of something and making you think that you're learning something different. When really, so I just watched an hour and a half of Helter Skelter, and all I saw were two pictures I've never seen before. Whoa. Man, I've seen a lot of photos that aren't on the internet. The whole Michael Herring collection, a bunch of other stuff. And I know it might be fascinating to some of these newer people out there that are just getting involved with the case and wanting to learn about the case. But someone like myself and other people from my community here that are into this, it doesn't impress us at all. It doesn't do anything. As a matter of fact, you're just telling the same old story. This particular documentary jumped the shark. Like, even I was watching this going, oh my God, I'm bored with this. And like, this brings nothing to the table. I've heard everything you've said here. We've already heard it in every other documentary. I thought this was going to be something new, something interesting. And that's what documentaries are supposed to be. But all they're doing is just showing you a couple pictures. I never saw that picture. I never saw that angle of Spawn Ranch. And that's about it. But they're giving you the same information. So it's the exact same information as any other documentary or as the book Helter Skelter. And you're showing us one picture that we haven't seen from a photographer that's dead now. And then we got his collection through so-and-so, private buyer and all that kind of crap. Look, there was nothing on here. There was no information that you already didn't know. Manson's hippie cult leader, this and that. I mean, all the same bullshit. So this particular documentary on Netflix is terrible. At least the one on Peacock, Making Manson with John Michael Jones, that's more about his relationship with Manson and just listening to the tapes. That's a little bit... That documentary is a little bit better because at least you get to hear Manson's voice and you get to hear a couple of cool things in there. And that's really about it. It has nothing to do with the case. It's just about John Michael Jones' relationship with Manson, and then allowing Stephen Kay and Linda Deutsch and Phil Kaufman and Greg Jacobson, letting them hear the tapes and trying to shock them. That's about it. But that was actually a lot more interesting than what Netflix put on here. You know, this whole chaos making the Manson murders, whatever the fuck it's called here with Tom O'Neill. It's terrible. It's actually a waste of time. Look, people, I've watched every fucking documentary there is on the Manson family. The only good one out there is Manson, His Final Words, with Rob Zombie as the narrator. That's the only one that's good. And until all these different outlets decide to fucking take a chance and really make a documentary based on something else besides Helter Skelter, meaning, like, you see this guy right here behind me? Yeah, the bald Buddha over here. If they took his book and made that into a fucking Netflix documentary, that'd be good. Or if they took George Stimson's book, Goodbye Helter Skelter, and made that into a Netflix thing, that would be good. But the problem is that Netflix, you know, Peacock, Hulu, all these places, they don't want to go against the grain. They don't want to show any kind of sympathy towards Manson. And it has nothing to do with sympathy. You know, like, oh my God, if we show something else that goes against the narrative, that means we're on the side of the Manson family. No, it doesn't, people. It just means you're showing another side. It has nothing to do with what Netflix or Hulu or Peacock. That doesn't mean that they believe in the Manson family. They're just bringing you a documentary that no one else has brought you. And so far, we have not seen that at all. So Tom O'Neill's Chaos last night on Netflix is terrible. It's an hour and a half. You'll never get back. If you want to watch it because you're just into this stuff and you have to watch everything because that's just what we do here, because we have everything in front of us on our phones and our iPads and everything, and we're always on our phones, then go ahead and watch it. It's the same old Helter Skelter. Nothing new. Nothing new whatsoever. And it really feels like it jumped the shark. It was boring. Very boring. And I mean, there was really nothing there. People, look, I'm telling you, these companies are too scared to take a chance and make a real documentary about what really happened with the Manson, with those murders, with the Tex Watson murders, really. You know, why did, 5 people and a baby die at Cielo Drive? Why did 2 people die at Waverly Drive? Why was Shorty Shea killed? Why was Gary Henman killed? Why was Lots of Papa shot? Now, all we hear is this Helter Skelter bullshit. Some of it, especially with the Lots of Papa stuff, that's a little bit true. But the rest of it is all, look, there's a lot more behind this. It's not what you think. Look, I don't believe in the Helter Skelter theory at all. I don't believe it was a race war, any of that shit. We all know what gets a lot of people in trouble, and that's drugs and money. It's very simple. You get killed over that stuff very easily. It's not like the blacks are going to rise up and all this stuff. And to me, it's just a bunch of crap. So just to let you know, Tom O'Neill's Chaos on Netflix right now is a complete waste of time. And Tom O'Neill's a hypocrite. And because, like I told you, he debunks Bugliosi and proves that Manson wasn't a hippie cult leader. But through the whole fucking documentary, he just keeps calling Manson a hippie cult leader who can make people do things, on a drop of a dime. So it's just a waste of time. It's a waste of time. But I will say this about Tom's book. The very beginning of it is very good, where he debunks the Bugliosi stuff. The rest of the book, we could throw that away. But the very beginning is very good. So Stoner Van Houten here, just letting you know, my review on the Netflix Tom O'Neill on a scale of 1 to 10, it's a 1. That's it. It's absolutely terrible, and it's a waste of time. At least making Manson on Peacock there was slightly better. Listening to John cry over Manson tapes, that's a little bit better. But the #1 documentary, I'm telling you right now, if you want to watch a real documentary, something real, called Manson, His Final Words, Rob Zombie is the narrator, that's the best documentary out there. And until then, it will always be the documentary out there, the #1, until somebody makes something different and wants to go against the grain. Hopefully people like Shrek or George or somebody could get one of these companies to go against the grain and actually film something that is closer to the truth than what we've been watching here for the last, 56, 57 years, God knows how long. There you go. Stoner Van Houten here. Hope you enjoyed this video.